Hi friends, it's Pam and it's May 1st and I have my coffee. Let's have a coffee chat. It is Friday and I've had to pivot to doing coffee chats on Fridays, which is totally fine. And there's still creative Fridays, so I still have creative things I want to do today. Well, there is a storm coming. I don't know how long I'm going to be out here, but you know, maybe it's figurative, maybe it's literal. It is literal for sure. Well, I had a few things to talk about today. Margin, you know, on a piece of paper, how there's the margin on the outside, right? And you're supposed to just write in between those. And I often think about margin in life, and you've heard that term, I'm sure. And it's like, instead of making life right from, you're writing from the very top corner of the page all the way down to the bottom corner of the page, and each little section of white space in your day is completely filled. That's what I've been doing lately. I haven't been letting there be margin in my life. So yesterday morning, I put a little margin in there. I had things to do, things I was doing, but I didn't expect too much of myself. I just kind of let it be and gave myself the grace to rest a bit and relax a bit and do something I wanted to do, because once the piano students come, and then it's like right into supper time, and then you're cleaning up, and then it's like the day's over, right? So I have to be more thoughtful and build margin into my days. What do you think about that? Have you heard that term before? Do you build margin into your days? Do you have some white space left there around the edges? Or maybe you have too much white space and you're looking for things to fill up the page. It can kind of go both ways. And I've been in mostly a season of desperately trying to find some margin, but I know that the days are probably coming when I'll be looking for ways to fill up the page. Well, the storm is staying a little bit away, so hopefully you can hear me. It is quite windy out here on my deck. The other thing I wanted to talk about was political pressure. Now, I know we're not supposed to talk about politics, and I feel a bit more safe to do that as a Canadian, because Canadian politics, everybody knows, they're just kind of boring, right? I've taught grade 9 social studies and grade 12 social studies, and every time we get to the Canadian government, and grade 6 social studies too is all Canadian government, and the poor kids are just like, oh, there's a plane. So bored out of their minds. There's an airport really close to here, and the water bombers are practicing for fire season. Hopefully we don't have a fire, but they're practicing here, so you might hear some planes now and then. Well, I am under a lot of political pressure, I feel right now. Or maybe it's not political pressure, maybe it's family pressure. So, fortifying sip. A lot of my family is involved in this Alberta separation movement, and I don't know if you know anything about it, probably not, but the province of Alberta is a vast province. Canada is really, really big. For example, we drove 7 hours straight south and we didn't get to the end of the province, and we started from about the middle-ish top of the province. So you can imagine it's a big province, and we have a lot of oil and gas here in Alberta, and we can't get it anywhere. We have high fuel prices because instead of having a pipeline to the United States or pipelines to the coasts, we supply everyone else with oil and gas, and we don't really have any for ourselves. So it's a broken system, and there's a lot to say about it, of course. But basically, the federal government of Canada kind of dictates what Alberta does. And so Alberta is not allowed to do this resource development in many different sectors. There's just way too much red tape, way too many expenses. And so investors have pulled out. And at the same time, Alberta sends equalization payments. So in Canada, the provinces are all supposed to send payments to each other to kind of make things equal, right? That's the socialism part. Well, it's one of the socialism parts. And Alberta sends a huge amount to other provinces to fund their social programs, to fund education, health, all kinds of things, while we don't have any of those things. Well, we have healthcare, we have national healthcare, but we don't have childcare programs subsidized. We don't have subsidized education. We don't have, all of these things. And so there's a lot of disgruntled Albertans, okay? And here's the thing. The grievances are true. The grievances are real. But the solution that the Alberta separatists, there's a lot of different names for them, APP, Rise Up, any of those kind of names, freedom fighters, it's all caught up in that movement. They don't really have a good plan except to just get out of Canada. And then what? And so I'm just feeling kind of isolated and kind of a little bit ostracized because I don't agree with some of my family members on this. And so there's been a lot of silence and, not a lot of phone calls. And I'm just kind of not sure what to do about that. But anyway, I just wanted to talk it out here and see if you understand. Have you felt that? Maybe other kinds of pressures, maybe religious pressures, maybe pressure to go to the same church as a family member, or pressure to believe a certain thing, or pressure to show up at family gatherings. There's a lot of pressure in our families that we put on each other. And I'm really hoping that for my kids, that I don't do that, that I can really just let things go and just be as generous as possible with my time and with giving people freedom without letting them off the hook completely. There's a balance there. So I'm dealing with that. That's just kind of been on my mind. Like, do I say something? Should I write something in my blog? Should I make a blog post about this? And I was just about to do that. And I thought, it's not worth it. Like, just live and let live. It's not that I don't care about my province. It's not that I don't care about Canada. I just don't think Alberta separating is a good solution. I'm sure you can imagine right now all of the problems that a landlocked province would have, right? Moving out of a big country, especially when we are adjacent to the United States. We'd probably just get absorbed into the United States. I mean, and if you're from there, you're probably like, well, that's not so bad, right? All right, I'll let that one go. What else did I want to talk about? I have a few notes here. Oh, I wanted to mention my friend, Explore with Jeff. He has 2 channels. Explore with Jeff is his main one. And then he has Jeff Straight Talking, and it's spelled GEOFF, Explore with Jeff. And he has not been posting lately for months now. He is on a really difficult, painful cancer journey. And I've been, reaching out to him, praying for him a bit. And so is Dylan. I found him through Rob the Maritimer. He was commenting on one of Rob the Maritimer's videos. And I just wanted to put it out there that if you're a praying person, if you could pray for Jeff, and if you want to encourage him a little bit, look up his channel, Explore with Jeff, and maybe subscribe. I'm hoping that if he can get back to posting a bit, get back to health and strength, that he will be encouraged to keep going with his YouTube channels, because he's a great person, and my heart just really goes out to him. You know, he's going through a lot, and he's feeling very alone in all of this. So explore with GEOFF. Okay, and the last thing that's been on my mind, well, I've got a million things on my mind, to be honest, but one of the things is YouTube and how much time I'm spending on it. I mean, I'm making a video right now, but I follow a lot of creators, and you as a creator, if you're watching, you know what I mean. There are so many great videos, and you want to support all of your friends. And a lot of my friends here are new to me, but they're really wonderful people. And I just don't have the time to watch all the videos. And so I'm trying to be purposeful about it. I'm trying to make good choices, and make good choices, right? We tell our kids. But I was just wondering if, you know, anybody else has some insight in how do you balance things? How do you balance being as kind, loyal, generous with your time as possible, and really supportive, and then also like take care of your own stuff that is important, and make sure that your priorities are in line? Because I don't know about you, but I'm the kind of person, I really want to be there for other people, and I will sometimes let other things that I should be doing go so that I can be there for someone else. And on the surface of it, that's good, but it also, you know, delves into that people-pleasing realm that I've talked about a lot. So one of the books that I read a while back, it's called The Best Yes. It's probably backwards for you, but it's by Lysa, TerKeurst, and Making Wise Decisions in the Midst of Endless Demands. I read this book quite a few years ago, and I recently lent it to someone who was talking about this idea of trying to make the best choices for her family, for her time. And so I was looking at it again, and it reminded me that it's not so easy. It's not like you just have yes to good things and no to bad things. It's not black and white like that. There's all this gray area where you are saying yes to good things and realizing that you can't say yes to all those things. And so you end up saying no to good things. And that's what the book's about. It's about your best yes. What's the best yes that you can give, and how do you figure that out in the midst of life's demands, in the midst of sometimes chaotic things that are happening, things out of your control, situations with family, with your health, with the world, you know, with your job. How do you say the best yes, or give your best yes? So what do you think about that? Have you learned some lessons in that sphere? Lessons about what to say yes to, how to know when to say yes? I really struggle with that. I kind of go one way or the other in trying to set boundaries. Sometimes I say no too much because I feel that no inside, and I immediately think, okay, I have to say it. No, I can't do that. And I'm learning to sit with it for a while and figure out, is it a hard no, or is it a maybe? Do I need to think about it for a while? How do you give your best yes? Let me know what you think. And how are you doing today? Let me know how you're doing if you want to. I'd love to hear from you. This is just a casual chat and catch up as I finish what's left of my morning coffee, and say hi to you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for subscribing and liking the video and sharing your comments. It's really wonderful to engage with you. Can you hear that bird? I wonder what that is. the birds are kind of excited that there's a storm coming too. So hopefully it's just a small rainstorm. Anyway, I better get inside. I think it's time. I'll see you again really soon. Bye.